Amazon is acquiring MGM, the studio behind James Bond and Rocky, for $8.45 billion. This is a Business Insider story. They said on Wednesday that it would buy Hollywood giant MGM for $8.45. Amazon acquisition of MGM studio could mean a big expansion of Amazon's Prime streaming inventory to include MGM's big name movies and TV shows. These include the James Bond, Rocky, Creed, Pink Panther franchise. That's big for Adam. I know you're a Pink Panther guy. Alongside
Pink Panther.
Legally Blonde, A Star is Born. Its TV shows include Handmaid's Tale, Fargo, Shark Tank, Real Housewives. The real finance value behind this deal is the treasure trove of IP in the deep catalog that we plan to reimagine and develop together with MGM's talented team. Mike Hopkins, Senior Vice President of Prime Video and Amazon Studios, said in a press release, the sale to Amazon is a stunning finale for a studio brand that a decade ago was deeply in debt. MGM sold to Sony and a group of investors, including private equity firm Providence Equity, for $3 billion plus $1.9 billion in debt back in 2004. Not bad for MGM, but also a big play for Amazon. So what's Amazon doing with this? Are they planning on competing and going directly with Netflix? Is this a Disney thing? What are they doing?
Yeah,
what do they want to do?
It's exactly what they want to do.
Is it a takeover? Is it competing?
Well, don't forget, Amazon, if you, Kai, go to this website real quick. RELENTESS.com. Relentless.com.
My favorite part of that is that you didn't think Kai knew how to spell relentless.
He was struggling. Where does that lead you to? Amazon.com. I'll said it before and I said it again. Relentless.com will take your ass right to Amazon.com. They have no intention of stopping. There's another story on here that they're basically competing with CVS and Walgreens because they're opening up pharmacies.
Yeah.
They're coming after movies. They're coming after pharmacies. They're coming after anchor stores in the mall. They are coming after every single thing out there. Jeff Bezos just bought a $500 million yacht?
Yeah.
Like the money is nonstop relentless. So now let's talk about this MGM play. Are they going to try to compete with Netflix? You betcha. Are they going to try to compete with Disney Plus? You betcha. Also in the news, you got Warner Media and Discovery and the HBO thing. So in my mind, all these big, massive companies are just the rich are getting richer, the bigger getting bigger, and the people that have power getting more powerful. Last thing here with Amazon going Hollywood. Don't forget what happened during the pandemic shutdown. All the movie theaters got closed, right? Every single one of them. But basically, it solidified that these streaming services can just go direct to market and roll out movies. Amazon saw that and said, bingo, let's just get in on that play. And that's exactly what they're doing.
I agree. They were competing with Netflix anyway already. They were already ahead of HBO Max. They were already ahead of Disney. Now this takes them to another level. Don't forget they have streaming rights to the NFL. They have streaming rights to Major League Baseball. They're doing something which I think is brilliant with those streaming rights. Is they're going to have multiple different options for watching the games. They're going to have an all-female only crew. They're going to have a young crew, an old crew. So you're going to be able to choose the people that are commentating the game that you're watching. You're going to have multiple different options. They're going to have the director's view where you can see everything at once. So, I mean, they're really innovative. And if you want to learn more about Amazon and Jeff Bezos, you can check out a show called Before They Were Billionaires on this channel called, Valuetainment. A very, very handsome man in an ill-fitting suit did a great 5-minute segment on it. You should check it out. But the bigger question is, what's it going to take for us to break up Amazon? Like you said, they're gobbling up everything. Well, if your daughter decides to do a lemonade stand out front, Jeff Bezos might put an offer on it. So I mean, at what point do we need to look at this? The way Teddy Roosevelt looked at the robber barons, the way that the tech giants have completely cornered our society, the way that Carnegie and Rockefeller did at the turn of the last century, and say, all right, this is restricting the marketplace. These guys are too big, too powerful.
One of the stories we didn't talk about last time that we had on here, Kai, was the Apple story on Fortnite. We may have talked about it.
We talked
about it. Okay, so Apple and Fortnite. So Fortnite's argument is the fact that what percentage of app sales are right now being done on the iOS? What's the percentage, Kai? In the 80s, the number is astronomical. Okay, go look up percentage of app sales, iOS, Droid, see what control Apple has, right? So Apple saying, hey, Fortnite, you can't be on, you're off because you found a creative way to not pay the 30%, right? That's the whole challenge between Apple and Fortnite. What's the number? I'm actually curious.
The App Store monopoly.
I want to know how much iOS controls. Android eyes go down a little bit. No, the other way. Yeah, Kai, you were like literally right there. Go slightly down.
Oh, now we got the box.
Slightly go down right there, a little more right there. Okay, Android's around 111 million now, 2024, 65%. I'm trying to find out what's the difference. 71% of total app revenue in 2020. iOS generated 47.6. Google Play made 31.9. Okay, so it's relatively close. iOS is 111 billion dollars. So 65%. Okay, 65% is Apple. What's monopoly? Isn't monopoly 54%? Isn't there
70%?
Okay, so 65% is Apple, right? Okay.
Kai,
so,
check what a monopoly is, the percentage.
Yeah, so you look at companies like this. You look at what Apple's doing. You look at what Amazon's doing. You look at how you're saying how soon you break them apart, right? You get them to break up.
75%.
At this point of the game, it's 75%. At this point of the game, even 65%. Well, how the hell do you compete with that?
Yeah.
How does a smaller company come up and compete with that? You got 65%. And they get to tell you no. They get to say, no, you can't do this. So now, and Amazon can say no to you as a customer because they have AWS, the best hosting service. Amazon can say, we're not going to sell your book. Amazon can now... The level of control and influence with someone like this is the one part where Bernie Sanders makes an argument with some of these bigger companies.
And breaking up these big monopolies.
It's one too many. Okay. It's one too many. So who's next for Amazon?
You put your career on the line. I was there for it. You put your career on the line. You were the very first person. You beat Rogan to it. You were the very first person to have Alex Jones on when he was deplatformed. And you put your whole
on 9/11.
You put your whole YouTube channel up in the air for that one.
Well, oh, sorry. I didn't want to cut you off. But you brought up the point that I'm trying to make right now. Amazon policy punishes consumers, DC suit claims. So the District of Columbia attorneys are actually going after Amazon for antitrust grounds, monopolies. It illegally raises prices. This is already happening.
Yeah, and it goes beyond that.
Click on that story.
It's one thing about price gouging. It's one thing about market control. Another story we're not going to get to today is that Project Veritas and James O'Keefe, they basically got Facebook to admit that they are stratifying posts based on political. They're aggregating posts and then they're stratifying their algorithm based on political affiliation. So they're literally suppressing viewpoints. All right, and now as a private company, right, nobody's going to tell you what to do with your companies, and I get that. But at some point, when there's only 5 companies and they collude together, you are creating an environment where now all your information, your entire zeitgeist, is controlled by 3-4 people. And again, that's where someone like you is so important. Something like Valuetainment is so valuable, to have an independent voice, to be able to question authority, to be able to speak truth to power. But then, I mean, dude, you could wake up my page got demonetized. I told you, I woke up one day, I posted the wrong comment, I sent the wrong video, and I woke up and they were like, boop, your page has been demonetized and your reach is restricted.
How many times were you warned before it happened?
It's 3 strikes.
So you were warned twice.
But here's the deal: I was demonetized for the truth. I didn't say anything that was untrue. And
I'm not saying what you said was right or wrong.
But what I'm saying
is, give you fair warning.
But if they give you fair warning, what does that mean? If I give you,
I don't know. I'm asking
if I give you fair, like,
if you weren't warned,
if I give you fair warning and I say, Adam, if you keep sitting there, I'm going to punch you. Adam, if you keep sitting there, I'm going to punch you. And then I punch you. Did you do anything to deserve getting punched? And I can be like, well, I gave you fair warning. What are you supposed to do? Get out the room?
Well,
the only argument there can be made is if it's in your house.
Not that I would ever do that. I'm just saying.
If it's in your house and you tell them, leave my house, leave my house, leave my house, punch. Meaning, the argument, like I talked to Sue and
what
Dennis
if you bought
Prager.
The whole block?
I talked to Sue and Dennis Prager. You know who they are, Prager University. And I talked to them when they were suing YouTube, and they were going back and forth saying the fact that you can't do this because it's freedom of speech and all this, First Amendment, all this other stuff. They said the lawyers didn't go on their side, and they have strong attorneys. Sue herself is an attorney. They said the argument was, what the what U.S. stands for with freedom of speech, our First Amendment, has nothing to do with what private companies and public companies have to do.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.